Hey Anthony, do you like my new shirt?
Sure, man. It's cool. Could have been better.
What was that?
I said it could have been better.
You want to fight about
Yeah, I
it?
do. Let's go, chump. Hold on a second. We don't need to fight.
We don't?
All you need to do is go to 86.com and choose from one of their many designs. Franchises range from Skullgirls to Street Fighter and even BlazBlue. And if you check out 86 through this Twitch channel, use 86.com /AFF equals 4 to let them know that Mission Star Podcast sent you. Hello everybody, my name is Anthony Beyonce, and if you're watching this video, that means that we did not come together to do our podcast. Our schedule's still on the lineup, so here's what I propose to do, is that if we can't come together to do a podcast, I suggest to the group, and I'm pretty sure they're in agreement, that we'll do our separate recorded versions of, here's my thoughts on the story, without anybody else debating on it, and just kind of put it out there to the world and to the world of social media. So with that, we're going to do it. We're going to see how that works. And just in case, we can't come together to do a podcast. So for me, there's a lot of big news that happened this past week. And there's definitely things I really wanted to talk about, especially in the light of what's been happening with Blizzard. And it's with the PS5 details being announced and so on. So first topic, first thing I'm gonna talk about is gonna be about Blizzard in China. So here's the thing. So as for those of you who don't know, the entire saga, what's been happening with Blizzard, and I'll bring up the article here up. Just a little briefer. This is from IGN.com, written by Jordan Ciarni. The Blizzard China controversy and why #boycott Blizzard is trending explained. Blizzard has found itself under international criticism over imposing a 12-month ban on a professional Heartstone player, NGY Blitzchung for vocalizing his support of Hong Kong's liberation movement. #boycott Blizzard is trending on Twitter, which countless community members, pro players, industry professionals, and lawmakers have voiced their displeasure and disgust with Blizzard's decision. But how did it begin? Well, the Hong Kong-China conflict. Before diving into the controversy, it's important to understand Chung's motivation, what requires a brief explanation of the current Hong Kong protest. As written by IGN's Matt Kim, Hong Kong is currently in the midst of a public protest. That began earlier this year when the local government announced plans to enact laws that would allow China to extradite citizens from Hong Kong for judiciary reasons. Hong Kong citizens protested the laws, and while the city government has backed down from plans to enact them, the movement has grown as the calls for a liberation intensify. And it's of course incredibly difficult to quickly to sum up the intricacies of the conflict, but it's important to have a broad understanding of it before diving into Blizzard's place in all of it. Then falls into the tournament that was held by Heartstone by Blizzard in regards to what they were doing. So in a stream that was being in Taiwan in regards to the Heartstone tournament, the Grandmasters, there was a player, Blitz, as we talked about earlier, where he was interviewed after his match. He won the tournament. The commentators would interview the player and get his thoughts on what he thought about the match, what he did, and yada yada. So he comes on. As he appears, he's in his room. It's over the internet. He has a gas mask on, and he says, "Free Hong Kong," and the mask represented the movement that is being held in Hong Kong, and that is the thing that they wear as a symbol, or as a way to, because there was a law banning gas masks, so then people start wearing them to go against it in China. So then he does his thing, he talks about it, and the minute the commentators kind of realized what was going on, they literally like put their heads down, trying to avoid the camera and realizing the situation. And when that happened, a day or two later, Blizzard bans Blitz from Heartstone and the Grandmasters for a year and takes away all his winnings that he won that tournament. So then, this caused a huge outcry within the game community, and just the effects of what Blizzard has done, and many have linked this to them bending to the rules of China, and that China told them, or basically saying you can't do that. Basically you can't do that. Especially in these times when they're dealing with the situation in China with Hong Kong. And the thing about it is that Blizzard said nothing. Like, they literally said nothing for the past week until Friday, where they made the actual statement regarding the whole situation, which was a carefully crafted PR statement that they did, which says that no, China didn't influence us. Like, he just violated the rules, which basically comes down to what we're trying to say. I hold our core values still. But after everything had happened, after they banned the player, many outcry from not only the gaming community, but you have actual senators and actual people within our government calling out Blizzard on both ends. You had Ted Cruz from the Republican Party, and you had Cortez from the Democrat Party, both saying to Blizzard, hey, we do not like the fact that you are bending the will at China for somebody speaking their mind. And on top of that, lest we forget, on top of that, this was happening at the same time the NBA is also going through their troubles with China right now as well, for comments that a manager from the Houston Rockets saying he was in support of China, and China also got upset, and then the NBA was also apologizing, basically to China, saying like, hey, he does not represent our views. It got to the point where Adam Silver, the boss of the NBA, came out and said, hey, we respect everybody's decision to say what they want, and at the same time he was also kind of saying like, well, we also kind of have to abide to international laws as well. So there already was a pretty tense relationship already as of right now between China and the U.S. when it comes to the NBA and Blizzard. Tying this back into Blizzard, this entire week there was a series of events that happened. A few days later, I believe the tournament for Heartstone for another online tournament, which showcased, this is more of a college. A college scene or a college circuit, and one of the universities was the AU, American. I want to say American University, but that's the AU is the acronym for the college. But when they were on stream, or when they're playing the match, one of them held up a sign saying, hashtag Free Hong Kong, and boycott Blizzard. Which the stream cut away to just the other competitors, so they won't see that. And while they were also punished, but not as severely as Blitz, they decided that hey, we're going to still forfeit the match because we do not like the what Blizzard is doing with China and what happened to Blitz essentially, and they essentially, said thanks, but no thanks, Blizzard. Like, you give us the win, but you give it, you suspend, you might punish us for a little bit, but we're just gonna take this opportunity to basically protest in front of you, or like just hey, we're doing this for the grander scope of things than what is happening right now in the circuit. So they did that, which is an awesome move by them, a power move for some who said that. but yeah, like things then escalated because not only did this entire event happened and a lot of backlash from a lot of people around the world, and especially in the U.S. Um, this was leading up to BlizzCon, which is, as the time of this recording, is 2 weeks away from happening. And I can guarantee you, because one of the big things that Blizzard that's often looked at is people have signs they bring every time to whatever it be, the StarCraft tournament, to the Heartstone tournament, to every tournament. They have cameras all over the place where they look at people with signs or people holding up something or interviewing people. Like, it is the worst possible time at this moment for Blizzard to have a convention where people are going to come and talk about or speak about whatever. People already mad from last year's BlizzCon. Now you got more justified anger coming to this year's BlizzCon. And while, again, they did make it a statement regarding the whole situation, I don't think that's going to carry weight. I think that you're going to get a good amount of people still going to be protesting at BlizzCon, if not bring more signs into the whole entire thing. And it's going to be a shit show, essentially, is what it was going to come down to when it comes to that. So that's going to be happening pretty soon. Amidst all of this, another update to the situation was that so after a while, after a few days, the backlash saying nothing, they did make a statement, but they also said, like, we're going to only suspend Blitz for half a year, get back its winnings, and, you know, again, our core values are the same, like, we know, respect for everybody and yada yada. To which the interesting wrinkle in all this, and it's on two fronts, was before I get to Blitz, what his response, his statement, is that there was also internal struggle. Like, there were people within the Blizzard company, devs, who were pissed at Blizzard for what they did to Blitz and what they're doing with China. And for those, and I should have said this in the beginning of the story, I'm saying, but the Blizzard is owned 5% of Blizzard is owned by China, Tencent, or their partner investor. And they are, essentially partially owning Blizzard. So, when this all happened, it was basically them just what's the word I'm looking for? I want to say pulling a muscle, but like stretching their muscle, or basically power moving. Basically telling Blizzard, hey, we're not liking this. Please do something about that. And obviously, there's a lot of implications, and like, this is not officially that was what happened. But from a lot of people, like, it's from the outset, this is what it looks like. It looks like Blizzard was saying, yes, sir, give me more, and saying that China did have an influence on their decision to ban Blitz and to do what they did. Fast forward, Blitz gets his winnings back. He's only suspended for half a year, and he made a statement regarding all this. And he basically said that he's very thankful to Blizzard for giving him back his winnings. He is wishing that he could come back sooner and not the 6 months ban. He played it safe. He then said, like, I don't want to talk about, the incident or what's happening with Hong Kong right now, because if I try to, I would be uninformed, and it would be it's me paraphrasing. I would feel dumb or stupid for not being more informed, so I can talk about it. And kind of that's what his position is. And he said, like, hey, don't harass the devs. Like, if you don't like the game, then that's fine. Don't boycott Blizzard, and kind of taking it much more of a, I'm going to take the money, I'm going to go ahead and play it safe, and I'm going to walk away and let everybody decide. And people were mad. People were really mad at Blitz, because people believed that they wanted Blitz to be like this this person that would still go after Blizzard and not take the money, and like be this person for the cause. And for him, like, he doesn't want to be a part of that. He's obviously showing support, for Hong Kong, but does not want to take part of it. And I think that it's interesting to me regarding that is that he did what he did, and he can walk away because that one thing he did, where he showed his support for Hong Kong on that interview, he inadvertently exposed Blizzard for what they're doing. He caused a lot of backlash from a lot of fans, getting the attention of not only the gaming community, but now you got the mainstream media, Forbes, you got Forbes, NBC, you got NPR, you got multiple other big mainstream outlets covering the story. On top of what's happened in the NBA, on top of other companies now in the woodwork are starting to, people are starting to realize, like, wait, China has a lot hands on a lot of things. Lest we forget, Tencent has a lot of money in a lot of things in the US that people don't realize. They are involved in many things: music, movies, games, sports. Like, they have their hands on a lot of things, and it's only now we're seeing the repercussions of what if they wanted to flex that arm and say, "Hey, we don't like this, change it," and that we're seeing that right now, especially with Blizzard. So Blitz did what he did. Like, he went and actually went ahead and exposed Blizzard, at the same time opening up this wide gamut, this opening up many people to question Blizzard, not only from the gaming side, the community, again with the mainstream media, but politicians, not to mention the devs inside Blizzard. I believe I saw a tweet where the former dev who made WoW decided to unsubscribe because to the WoW game, because he didn't believe, or he did not like what Blizzard was doing. When the events happened, when Blizzard was banned, some of the devs actually went to the front of the statue at Blizzard HQ, where it says the core values in stone, and covered them up, because, like, at the time, Blizzard, when they did this, and I still believe they still don't, they didn't believe in their core values. That they're open to everybody, and that they're freedom of expression. Accepting of all genders, of all colors, like pretty much all of that. But they did not. They didn't do that in everybody's mind. And again, they made the statement that said that no, we're not influenced by China. No, we're here for our core values. Honestly, I don't believe them. I believe many people won't believe them either. I don't know what it will take for them to say, like, hey, believe us now, or people to believe them to say, like, they're changing for the better. I don't know. Blizzard has been going downhill for quite some time. People have been leaving the games that they've been putting out. While they have been successful, there has been like one or two has not done as well. Here's the Storm is one of them. So Blizzard at this time is bracing themselves for BlizzCon, bracing themselves for what could possibly happen. I can guarantee you there will be some sort of protest at this year's BlizzCon. The question is, I wonder if this will continue to grow. One of the things that, I hear this often in the game industry, or when it comes to the people, to the gamers, is that we have a goldfish mentality, where we get angry about something for about a day, and then we move on to the next thing we get angry about. Because this has a situation where it's dealing with China, it's dealing with the international scene, but not just games, with a much bigger picture. It makes you wonder if we're gonna have people be more angry and be able to kind of keep going with the protests in a much more legitimate way versus protesting the game, which we spoke about this in the podcast, and kind of just keeping that up, and and to support Hong Kong, but also to hey, basically go against companies who are taking China's money. And because China, let's be real, China is the biggest country, one of the biggest countries in the world. and they got tons and tons of money. A lot of stuff we have here in the US came from China. So you can already see that there's already implications regarding China's involvement with the US, but you're already seeing that China or the US, I won't say you can't live without China, but like they definitely doesn't mind or looks away from what China's doing, because there's a lot of dark and evil stuff that's happening in China that people don't talk about as much. And I suggest if you don't know, please look it up. So my thoughts on all of this and everything that unfolded, I think that what Blitz did, I think that what he did was fine. Like, I think that he came in even though he is saying to everybody that he doesn't want to speak on it, even though he did protest, he did put a sign to protest it. So he that kind of question. But I think what Blitz did, he was lucky to get his money's back. Is he gonna come back to Heartstone? Maybe, because he did say he made a living out of the game he loves to play, so he kind of doesn't want that to go away. So that's gonna be a little awkward for Blitz. But like I think he came in there to do what he did. He raised awareness. He's got a lot more people in the U.S. much more informed now, or much more aware of what's happening in Hong Kong now, ever more than before. He came away with his winning, so he's not completely no money's coming to him. Now he is getting them, and his suspension is reduced to 6 months. And people will call him a coward, or people are going to call him out and hate him because he's not going to be this person that is going to pursue Blizzard to be this person that that would continue to fight against Blizzard and against China. But it seems like he doesn't want to be a part of that. I think he just wants to take the safe route and let everybody else do it, and let him live his life. So I think what he did was fine. I think that definitely he got the message across, and it definitely has a huge effect in the US. So that's fine. I think that with Blizzard, when he put that statement out saying that they are about their core values and they were not influenced by China, I think it's a lot of BS. I think that it was a very crafted statement they did put out, but I do not think that was genuine. I think that they were just putting out something, anything, just to say, hey, we're sorry, don't hate us. Which, it's far gone. It's far gone at this point. I think that people definitely have a different mindset to Blizzard right now. And the question then becomes like, if BlizzCon happens and if they reveal Overwatch 2 or Diablo 4, will that mend the wounds? And personally, I don't think so. I really don't. But again, gamers are fickle. So, if they may say we like this, we'll forgive you maybe, but I personally no. I do not like what Blizzard is doing. I do not like what the situation is. So personally, I don't think Blizzard, to me right now, I don't know what they would do to forgive me personally, or to say we're sorry, we're not about this. The ignorant asshole in me wants to say Blizzard, are you an American or not? Do you support freedom or not? Or are you a communist? I don't want to go that far and start doing that, but the ignorant person in me was looking at all this, just kind of look from the outside, what, Blizzard, are you about the U.S.? Are you about freedom? Or are you not? So, it's definitely brought on a lot of questions, and it's not just me, but a lot of people in the devs within Blizzard. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next couple of weeks, especially with BlizzCon coming up. I think that this story is not over. I think that there's still a lot to uncover, and people have been questioning, and people have been wondering what's going on. And, man, yeah. Blizzard is definitely in a world of hurt right now. I don't know what they can do. It's the only thing they can do, in my opinion, if they want to get back on good graces of everybody in the US. I would love them to say that look, if a BlizzCon they say this, power to them. I like them to say, hey, look, we're sorry about what happened with Blitz. We respect our core values. We're not influenced by China. With that being said, from here on out, anybody on our circuit that wants to make a political statement can. And if you, something to that nature. Basically, something to that nature. Basically saying, like, if you have something to say that you want to support, say it however you want and however you want to do it. And I think that would help. I mean, like, it would help. It would, like, say, like, yes, we are USA. Yes, we are American. Yes, we value everybody here. We're not taking China's money. Or maybe even saying, like, hey, we're going to cut off our relations with China, which would be freaking fantastic. Because then, like, okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna make sure that, you know, hey, we are much more appreciated in the U.S. and that the money that we can get from China, we can get here. And that may not be true, but it helps. It helps for them to come out and say something, and say into that nature. Will they do that? No. I don't think they will. I think that what people need to realize when it comes to these game companies, and especially with the platform holders, Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo, they are not there to be your friend. They seem to be your friend. They seem to be somebody who wants to help you get more games, you know, make it easier for you to have more have more options to play said game. But in reality, they're not there to be your friend. They're there to take your money. It's always been about the money. It's always has been about the money. They're just trying to be your friend or trying to give you perks so that you can stay on a platform or to buy more games from said company. And that's one thing we have to remind ourselves when it comes to, you know, being a fan of a game series, of a dev, of a game company, is that it's cool that they're making games. It's cool that platform is being very supportive. But at the end of the day, these game companies are out here for your money. And that's what Blizzard wants. And if it means getting money from China because they have a huge market and tap into that, then yes, they will do that. They will absolutely do that. They will go out of their way to get more money because your company, you need money to succeed and to live. So, yeah. Basically that. So, reminder, keep that in mind. But that's my thoughts on the whole situation. We'll have to wait and see what happens in the next couple of weeks. But if you enjoyed this short clip, make sure to follow us on our YouTube channel. youtube.com/MissionStarTube. And, you know, you follow our, you know, my Twitter and everything down here. But we'll have more information and more videos to come on all of our social media. So with that being said, thank you for watching. See you guys next time.